The galaxy trembled under the shadow of the Kragthar Dominion, a fearsome empire bent on subjugating all who stood in their path. Their latest target was the Ironclad Bastion, a heavily fortified planet that served as a critical outpost for the United Federation of Planets. The Kragthar believed it to be an easy conquest, but they underestimated the resolve of the human defenders. Major Alex Carter stood atop the battlements of Ironclad Bastion, surveying the horizon. The Kragthar fleet loomed in the distance, a menacing array of warships poised to strike. The air was thick with tension, the calm before the storm. "Major, the Kragthar fleet is closing in," Lieutenant James Walker reported, his voice steady despite the impending danger. "Prepare the defenses," Alex ordered, his gaze unwavering. "We'll make them regret ever setting foot in our territory." The Ironclad Bastion was a marvel of engineering, its walls bristling with weaponry and shields powered by the planet's core. The human defenders, a mix of seasoned veterans and fresh recruits, stood ready to face the onslaught. "Remember, men," Alex addressed his troops, "we hold the line here. For our families, for our future, we fight." The Kragthar assault began with a deafening roar. Their warships unleashed a torrent of plasma fire, hammering the bastion's shields. The ground shook as the enemy's drop pods rained down, disgorging legions of heavily armored soldiers. "Incoming," Lieutenant Walker shouted, directing his men to defensive positions. The human defenders responded with a barrage of artillery and gunfire, determined to repel the invaders. The air was filled with the cacophony of battle, the sky lit by the flashes of energy weapons and explosions. Sergeant Tom Tank Harris, a burly man with a reputation for fearlessness, manned a heavy machine gun emplacement. His weapon roared to life, mowing down the advancing Kragthar soldiers. "Come on, you ugly bastards," Tank bellowed, his voice carrying over the din. "Let's see what you're made of." The Kragthar were relentless, their soldiers charging forward with mechanical precision. But the humans held their ground, their resolve unbroken. As the battle raged, Major Carter coordinated the defense from the command center. The Kragthar were pressing hard, but the bastion's defenses held firm. "Lieutenant Walker," report Alex demanded, his eyes scanning the tactical display. "We're holding, sir, but they're throwing everything they have at us," Walker replied, his voice tense. "We need reinforcements." "Reinforcements are on their way," Alex assured him. "We just need to buy some time." On the front lines, Corporal David "Doc" Thompson, the squad's medic, moved through the chaos, tending to the wounded. Despite the danger, he worked with calm efficiency, his hands steady as he patched up his comrades. "Hang in there," Buddy Doc said, applying a bandage to a soldier's wound. "We've got a long fight ahead of us." The Kragthar assault intensified, their war machines pushing closer to the bastion's walls. But the human defenders refused to yield, their determination unwavering. As the battle reached a fever pitch, a new threat emerged. The Kragthar had deployed their elite shock troops, fearsome warriors clad in advanced power armor. These formidable foes cut through the human lines with brutal efficiency. "Major, we've got a problem," Lieutenant Walker reported, his voice urgent. "The shock troops are breaking through our defenses." Alex's mind raced as he considered his options. The shock troops were a formidable challenge, but he had a plan. "Tank, I need you to take out those shock troops," Alex ordered over the comms. "You're the only one who can stop them." "Roger that," Major Tank replied, a grin spreading across his face. "Time to show these tin cans what we're made of." Tank grabbed a rocket launcher and charged toward the enemy, his massive frame a force of nature. He fired with deadly accuracy, the rockets exploding against the shock troops' armor. "That's right. Come and get it," Tank shouted, drawing the enemy's attention. With Tank's distraction, the human defenders regrouped, launching a coordinated counterattack. The Kragthar shock troops, caught off guard, began to falter. 3240. The tide of battle was turning, but the Kragthar were far from defeated. Their war machines continued to pound the bastion's defenses, and the human defenders were stretched to their limits. "Major, we can't hold out much longer," Walker warned, his voice strained. "The shields are failing." Alex knew they were running out of time. The Kragthar were relentless, and the bastion's defenses were on the brink of collapse. "All units, fall back to the inner defenses," Alex ordered. "We make our stand here." The human defenders retreated to the bastion's core, a last line of defense against the Kragthar onslaught. The air was thick with tension as they prepared for the final assault. "Men, this is it," Alex addressed his troops. "We hold the line here, or we die trying. For the Federation, for humanity, we fight." The Kragthar charged, their war machines leading the way. The human defenders met them head-on, their weapons blazing. The battle raged with unrelenting intensity, the air filled with the roar of gunfire and the screams of the wounded. The human defenders fought with everything they had, their determination unyielding. Tank, his rocket launcher spent, waded into the fray with a combat knife in hand. He fought with brutal efficiency, his strength and ferocity unmatched. "Come on, you sons of bitches," Tank roared, cutting down the enemy with every swing. Doc, his medical supplies exhausted, picked up a fallen soldier's rifle and joined the fight. Despite his exhaustion, he fought with unwavering resolve. "We're not done yet," Doc muttered, firing into the enemy ranks. As the battle reached its climax, reinforcements arrived. Federation ships emerged from hyperspace, their weapons tearing into the Kragthar fleet. The enemy, caught between the Bastion's defenders and the reinforcements, began to falter. With renewed hope, the human defenders pressed their advantage, driving the Kragthar back. The enemy's lines broke, and the tide of battle turned in favor of the Federation. The Kragthar, realizing the battle was lost, began to retreat. The human defenders, battered but unbroken, had won the day. The siege of Ironclad Bastion had been a brutal conflict, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. The Kragthar had underestimated their resolve, and they had paid the price. As the dust settled, Major Alex Carter surveyed the battlefield. The cost had been high, but the Bastion still stood. "Well done." Men, Alex addressed his troops, his voice filled with pride. "We held the line." Tank, covered in grime and blood, grinned as he clapped a hand on Doc's shoulder. "We did it, Doc. We showed them what humans are made of." Doc nodded, his expression weary but satisfied. "Yeah, we did." The human defenders had proven their mettle, their courage and determination inspiring their allies and striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. The galaxy had learned a valuable lesson: never underestimate the resolve of the human spirit. As the Federation prepared for the next phase of the war, one thing was certain: humanity would not go quietly into the night. They would fight, they would endure, and they would prevail. For the galaxy had seen the strength of Ironclad Bastion, and they would remember the day humanity stood unyielding against the darkness.